Do you remember those 80s teen commercials? As a Gen X, I was at the heart of the 80s in full effect. It was my high school days. I was about 14 or 15 years old, and my skincare consisted of Noxzema, Oil of Olay. I used the Buff Puff, and I also used something that was called Apricot. I think it was St. Ives, Apricot. Well, I took out the time to find all of that stuff, bought all of that stuff, and I want to see how that stuff works on my skin now. Aging skin, Gen X skin. I so remember those Noxzema commercials. I tell you, when you washed your face with that stuff, with Noxzema, your life was beginning. You were at the crust of a really beautiful, exciting life. Just take a quick look at this commercial. Just look at it. This is what an 80s teen was dealing with. This is what Noxzema was supposed to do for you.
Let it begin. Let your best come through. It begins with the beauty that belongs to only you. So let it begin.
Wash with medicated Noxzema skin cream every day instead of soap to really dig out oil and makeup. It's the best beginning for clean, clear, glowing skin.
Let it begin. Beautiful skin. Let it begin.
Beautiful skin. Let it begin with Noxzema.
And let's not even get started with the Elle McPherson. She's a supermodel. She was a supermodel. She had a commercial out. It was a Seabreeze commercial, and that was for astringent. And we would use that after we would use our Noxzema. I don't know if that was right to do. Seabreeze has alcohol in it, but we did use it. But anyway, she was in a commercial, and every time she would use the stuff and she would pass by a guy that she liked or whatever, this wind would rush all over her and all over the guy that she liked. So these products really played a part into how I truly thought that I would take on the world and how I would attract boys.
Seabreeze cleans so deep you feel it.
Beautiful skin can be a breeze with Seabreeze.
Deep clean, so clean it tingles.
Beautiful skin can be a breeze with Seabreeze.
No other clean feels quite like this.
As I decided to take on this project, my daughter looked up the history of Noxzema, and Noxzema it came out in 1913, she says, and she said that the slogan said that it was supposed to knock out eczema, and so that's why the name was Noxzema, because it's supposed to knock out eczema. But this is the way it looks today, and I am going to try this on my face. I had to order this and wait for it to come in from Amazon. This is Seabreeze. It pretty much looks close to the way it was in the 80s almost. We didn't have big bottles like this, but this is the Seabreeze. This is St. Ives that we used, and we only used this for about once a week, and it was supposed to just, take off the dead skin. It's like a scrub. But back in my day, I'll show you the picture, it came in a jar. It was in a jar. It wasn't in a bottle like this, and we didn't do anything with our face without a Buff Puff. Back when I was a kid or a teenager, they had a store called Newberry's. It had a little dollar aisle. It was really popular for dollar items way before the Dollar Tree store even came, and because we were kids that were, our families we were on a tight budget. My parents was always trying to make ends meet, so we got allowance, but not every month. We didn't always get allowance on a regular basis. So when we did get our allowance, we would go to Newberry's and we would go on that dollar aisle and we would get a little thing. It was about this size, Seabreeze, of this scrub. They always had these Buff Puffs for $1. They had a Noxzema. It was about that size. It was so cute and so small. It was like a little mini size, and it was only $1. It lasted us for a few weeks, and we were able to do something that we thought we were doing to take care of our skin. Now, as a disclaimer, this is just a fun project that I'm doing, remembrance of my childhood. I am not telling you guys to use any of this stuff. I don't know how harsh Noxzema can be for your skin, most definitely, I don't believe that you should put alcohol on your face. Seabreeze has alcohol in it. And I don't know if they've changed the formula to this from when we were kids to where it's healthy for your skin. But it is a known fact that a lot of people, not me, a lot of people say that St. Ives is not good for your skin. And I wouldn't tell anybody to use a buff puff on your skin, because if you have sensitive skin, this most definitely will irritate it. I'm going to go ahead and open it up so you guys can see what it is. It's just a very coarse sponge. And for people that have very sensitive skin, even though this will take off the dead skin and everything, it may be too rough for your skin. So all of this stuff that I'm using literally is just a project of mine. Not advising anyone to use any of these products. And I'm gonna actually put up a picture of my ID card from 9th grade. Anyway, I'm gonna put that up, and I'm gonna go ahead and wash my face with this stuff, and I'm gonna just go through everything with you guys. And this was my ID card from Stagg High School. Boy, have I aged. Look at that baby face. Oh my goodness. Look at that décolleté. Look at that. Look how beautiful and buttery the skin was. Oh my goodness. And look at that permed hair. I'm all natural now. But anyway, wow. Wow, this takes me back. Let me put on my Gen Z glasses so I could really see. Wow, I had eyebrows. Wow. This project is taking me back. All right, we're gonna start with the Noxzema. Oh my goodness, look at this. This is my childhood in a jar. Oh my gosh. It still smells the same. Oh my goodness, we were living in Stockton. I'm in Washington now, Washington State, but we lived in Stockton back in the day, and this was my jam. I had a sister that liked to chalk up everything, and she would chalk hers all up, but I always wanted mine to stay stiff like that. I always knew when she went into my stuff too, because it would be chalked up. But I always wanted my stuff to be stiff for some reason. I wanted it to stay just like it was in the jar. I would put it all on my face like this, and I don't even think I used this much. Because, like I said, I'm not going to say we were raised up poor. We were raised up on a serious budget. Because we always had what we needed. But we just did not have allowance all the time. And I remember purposely never really putting it under my eye for some reason. Maybe that was because of the commercials. Because they didn't do it on the commercials. I guess I should have brought a towel in here. Let me go get a towel. I found some napkins. Use some white napkins to get this off of my face, and I brought in some water so I can wet my buff puff. And usually I would put this stuff on my face. I would treat it like it was a mask, and it would stay on for a little bit. Maybe I would go wash the dishes or do something my mom told me to do. I would do that, and then I would go back in and I would wet my buff puff, make sure it was nice and wet. And then I would do one of these numbers. Now, I don't think this is a good idea, but I would do this. Strangely enough, we would use oil of Olay. Now, even though oil of Olay was supposed to be, let me wet this here. Oil of Olay was supposed to be for older people. Our grandmother used to use it all the time. And our grandmother's skin, even though she was our grandmother, she was obviously older. Oh my goodness, her skin always looked so beautiful and so smooth. And the reason why I wanted to use it is because she always had a jar of oil of Olay. She always had a jar of oil of Olay on her dresser. And I figured in my mind, even though we never really talked about skin or talked about anything like that, or she never gave us really tips of our skin or anything like that, we just figured that that's what made your skin look beautiful, was the oil of Olay that she used, because we always seen it on her dresser. And when my grandmother had it, the bottle was shaped just like this, true enough, but it was a glass jar. Now it's all plasticky and stuff. Everything the world is about now is cutting corners, and we all know, or we all should know, that plastic is not good for anything. It's not good for our products. It's not good for us to drink out of. But yet and still, everything that we buy that we need is in plastic. Okay, I'll be back, and I'm going to use that Apricot Scrub, and I hope I'm not damaging my skin too much, doing too much today. Okay, this is the Apricot Scrub, and it's from St. Ives, just like it was when we were kids. And it looks the same and it smells the same, but it never came in a, we never found it in a thing like this. It used to be in a jar. It used to be in like a peach color jar or apricot color jar. I believe it was plastic as well, but this is what we would do. We didn't leave this on our skin. We didn't scrub too hard because this is super coarse. It really feels like you've went to the beach and got some really nice smelling cream and added the sand from the beach on it. So it's nothing non-coarse about this at all. And we would just do this. And I always had, I don't know what you call those things. I always would have a buildup right up around my nose here. And I would make sure I got all in there with it. And it did work well for that. You know, it took me almost 3 napkins to get all that stuff off of my face. All of that scrub. Goodness. Okay. Now here's the scary part. I have some cotton balls here. And let me pull this shirt up before my husband have a fit, thinking I am putting too much business out there on the streets doing these videos. He don't like me doing these videos anyhow. He thinks it draws too much attention to myself. But I have to do these videos to get where I need to get. Anyway, I am using the astringent now. I don't remember. It's been so long since I used this stuff. I don't remember if it burned. Okay. It still smells the same. Oh my God. This is bringing me back. Okay, I'm only going to put this in the areas where I am prone to get buildups. I am not putting this all over my face because it is tingling. Here, I'm going to go in with the oil of Olay. And because we wanted this stuff to last, we used it very sparingly. But I'm going to warm it up in my hands a little bit. And really press that in. Wow, that smells the same. Oh my gosh, it's like I could see my childhood. I could see, you guys should do this. If it's a safe product and it hasn't been recalled or anything like that, I would suggest you guys do this because this is creepy. It brings everything back. I'm smelling all the smells of my childhood. And I'm so glad I did this on camera instead of doing it first and then giving you guys a fake reaction. It's like my childhood is in a bottle right now. All those smells and all those things that are attached to memories, you know. Your brain remembers it, and even though you haven't thought about it in a while, or you know, it just doesn't even cross your mind. The smells of all the stuff that you used as a child, it'll rush in beautiful memories. You know what? Even though I know that stuff is probably not healthy for my skin, maybe the oil of Olay is okay, but I know that astringent is not too good. I probably won't use that. But just for the memory's sake, I tell you, I might do this once or twice a year. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you guys used Noxzema, if you were a Noxzema girl, if you guys remember those commercials, if you had an older person in your family that used olive oil and you used it too, let me know. Let me know how it affected your life and what did it do to your skin. How did you like it? Do you just remember it? Is it just a fond memory? Do you remember those stupid, you look back on those commercials, those dumb commercials that had us thinking that Noxzema and Seabreeze was just going to change our lives? It didn't do nothing. It just cleaned our face. So anyway, Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel and on the road to getting to know me. I appreciate your time, and let me know in the comments. Don't forget. Have a good one.